Well, I guess, it's 3 games in a row here. We'll start off with thanking the crowd. Huge, and they played a huge role tonight. Their energy, their noise, tried to help the officials, the whole thing. I love it. The students were fantastic. We're going to try to continue to play hard and compete and put a product out there that those people appreciate, and they just got to know how much we appreciate them coming out and supporting the team. So there's a lot of excitement going on. It's our job to keep it rolling. That was a tough game. I thought Western Michigan competed really hard. Was well prepared. Obviously Norman going for 31 got going. He's as advertised. We broke down a little bit defensively a few times, but he made some big shots. Offensively, we weren't ourselves in the first half. Second half, we got a little bit more us, which helped us. And then defensively, late, we got some big stops and really competed in the last possession, keeping the ball in Norman's hands. Was huge. So you got to be able to win games. To do what we want to do, you got to be able to win games sometimes when you don't play your best. You got to be able to protect your home court. So feel very fortunate to be able to do that tonight.
Coach, what did you tell your guys at halftime? Sluggish first half, kind of 20 minutes there, and that early part of the second half just seemed to have a little more bump to this team.
Yeah, we just talked about we were shooting 50%, but we were taking the bait a little bit. We were settling for too many jump shots. We drew like 3 fouls I think in the first 4 minutes of the game, and then we drew 3 fouls the second 16 minutes of the first half. So. We're a team that we're like top 5 in the country at drawing fouls and getting the free throw line. We got to continue to be who we are. We can't settle for the jump shots. We got to play inside out, take the rhythm threes once the ball touches the paint. And once we got back to doing that the second half, I thought it helped us defensively or offensively. But on the defensive end, Norman went off. So we could never stretch the lead because of what he was doing offensively.
You're on only 9 last game. 22 tonight. Just kind of how did you bounce back tonight?
I was just trying to win the game. Today shots failed. The other day they did. But just get my teammates involved and do whatever we got to do to win. That's all that matters.
The thing about Boogie, I see it at 22 and he hit a tough shot at the end of the first half, and then they didn't count the one. I'll have to take a look at it on film, but. The thing that I'm most proud of, just looking at his stat sheet, is the 7 assists, 0 turnovers, and 4 steals. He's always been a scorer. And he's becoming a much more complete player and efficient player. So while we appreciate the 22, that 7 assists and 0 turnovers was huge tonight.
Ron, the Sellers dunk early in the second half really seemed to just kind of be an energy spark for this team. Kind of tell me how the mood shifted in the span of just a kind of a minute right there. It really seemed to kind of get you guys going offensively.
To be honest, I expected him to dunk it, but I just wasn't ready for it. But we're an emotional team. Sellers a very emotional player, so when he gets his energy going, we all attract to him, and that's how anybody. He would have got it and won. It's just we are high intensity players, and we knew we could win this game. So. Yeah.
A lot of emotion, a very physical game all night. What did you guys learn about yourselves in a game like this that I'm not sure you've seen one quite this intense this season?
That we are who we are trying to be. We want to be one of the most physical teams in the conference. Like Coach said, drawing fouls, one of the top teams in the nation, but that don't come with not being physical. So we're not scared of no physicality from anybody, and we gonna step up to the plate.
Coach, you see a little bit of you guys will push back because Western was just playing. They were playing their game tonight. You guys seemed kind of bought into it early, but made the adjustment.
Yeah, I thought once we warmed to the fight a little bit, and these guys, they're starting to take on DJ's personality. Like we talked about it before the game. Coming from Michigan State, and those teams always get better throughout the year, and I think we're getting better. His team's gotten a lot better here as late, and they're starting to play a brand of basketball that he knows and understands. I'm sure he's been trying to get out of them up until this point. Once we warmed to the fight, I thought we held our own. I liked it, other than us not attacking offensively in the first half. You know, once we were able to do that, put some pressure on them at the rim, I thought things really opened up for us. And then, you know, the other thing in the first half, we had 8 turnovers. Second half, we only turned over 3 times. So it helps when you get opportunities at the rim.
Coach, what have you learned about yourself? Obviously, win fast, win slow, whatever it takes. But what have you learned about this team? You know, getting them to come together at the end of the game and like pull it out.
But we got good dudes. You know, I mean, we got good players. And we got guys that are, you know, beginning to really understand what winning's all about at this level. You know, it doesn't just happen. You know, if you want to win the way that we want to win, like you can win a game here and there. You know, I just told these guys in the locker room, I think that's 13 wins. They won their 13th last year on February 26th. You know, I think Chad, something like 2011 or 12. Last time they were 13-5, and that's great. It's good for these guys that they get to enjoy that type of success because it's a reward of the hard work that they've put in. Like they've earned the right to be in this position. You know, from a coaching standpoint, you got to help them manage the success. We didn't do a very good job of that when we went to Ohio. You know, but that's why he came out of the portal. That's why he transferred back. That's why we're here as a staff. That's why those guys are in the locker room. Is to build this program back to where this is what is expected.
Bill, you
We're not there. We're not there. But we're moving closer every day.
Peyton, how the physicality of this game was clearly a thing from the very start. Kind of tell me how you guys were able to handle that, because it was frustrating a little bit at both ends, but ultimately you bigs inside kind of seemed to find your way as the night went on.
You know, coaches just wanted us their physical team from the jump and practices. We just wanted to set the tone early and just show them that we're in the weight room too. Yeah, we know we do that. But I think we just wanted to set the tone and just get in the paint early.
Bill, you talk about coming back to the MAC. Obviously, the style of play is a little bit different than in the SEC, but talk about the MAC right here and like the energy that you guys bring to all these games.
One thing about the MAC, it don't matter from the top to the bottom. Each team's gonna compete and play their hardest and scrap. So you gotta to be a winning team in the MAC and go through without many L's. You gotta play hard every game, because if you don't, you're gonna get outplayed and out. They're gonna work harder than you. So we getting the identity of being the hardest playing team each game, and that's what we try to focus on.
Coach, how rewarding is it that it's your defense ultimately that checks that final box at the end of the game right there?
Yeah, I mean, that's in my opinion, that's what that wins consistently. You know, if you're going to compete for championships, it's your defense, because you know, offense, you're going to have an off night. You know, we were 4 or 15 from the 3, but we outscored them 42-20 in the paint. You know, so you know, your shots are going to fall some nights. Sometimes they're not. You know, you're just trying to get the best shots you can. But you can control your defense. You can control your effort and how much you fight and really compete. And I thought, especially down the stretch, we got the stops when we needed to, and obviously on the final play. You know, I told these guys in the huddle, we were like the crowd. We kind of, the assistants and these guys that saw the replay thought it was good. And so we were like, you know, okay, we're up, you know, we're up 3 or whatever it's going to be. And I said, you know what I tell you guys, like, act like they didn't. Like, let's go down and win this thing with a stop and get a stop and come back and score and get another stop and finish the game. So, you know, it is satisfying just because of the fight that those guys had on the last few possessions to win the game.
Coach, how important is it to win close games like this? And how
it changes it can change your season. You know, like you got to be able to, you know, win the close ones, and you got, you know, and we didn't win a few early. You got, and like I said back then, you got to continue to throw these guys in the fire. That's part about, you know, learning how to win. You know, we're not playing perfect. We still got some silly plays. He's getting some fouls he needs to grow from. Bashir had a couple silly ones. DJ had one late. And there's some plays that we can grow from. But you got to continue to throw those guys in the fire. They've got to get that type of experience. And these guys were saying it late. You know, hey, we've been here before. You know, you can't play to not lose. You got to play to go win the game.
Peyton, does this feel like the kind of night that the attitude in the locker room, kind of the mood, this could pivot a season, a night like this, a game like this, an ending like this?
I think, you know, every game is a battle. You can't get too high, can't get too low. I feel like our team just is resilient and can come back any point in time. Like, we can play fast, we can play slow. I feel like this game, it's pivotal for our season, but, we just got to play our game and just play hard, and, the outcome will be outcome, but we can control the result.
It's one game. It's in the middle of January. Yeah, we want to be playing real games in February and early March, and so like we talk about, trying to just continue to get better and let the fans ride the roller coaster of emotion. That's the unique thing about being a fan. You get to do that. We just need to continue to get better, because in our league, you've got to be able to go win 3 games in 3 days in Cleveland. So how can we best prepare ourselves for that?
Coach, question for you is, about half a season now you've been head coach, been a long time assistant coach. What have you learned about yourself so far on coaching? We've talked about this at other games where maybe you put them in a bad spot with a T or something, but what have you learned about yourself?
Go get good players. Like players play, and as these guys are learning me, I'm learning them. But I think I said you asked something similar before. I think what I've learned about myself is I'm doing exactly what I should be doing. This is I love coaching. I love preparing for practice. I love preparing for games. I love the individual workout, trying to get these guys better. I try to help teach them life lessons through basketball. The games suck, to be quite honest with you. It's a 2-hour nightmare, but it's very rewarding when you're with a group of guys that are chasing one singular goal, and they're about the right things, and I think that's what we're developing here.
Drawn 15 points, 3 assists, 3 steals in the second half, and you kind of took over. What kind of clicked in?
Just trying to win a game. It's I got faith in my teammates all the time. We call whoever number. We got a lot of numbers to call. 5 fouled out, but he was dominant before the end. So we all had to step up. Just my shots failed, but everybody stepped up in their own way. We switched 12 on Norman. Norman didn't have many buckets until the end, but we all stepped up in our own ways.
Deron, are you getting more comfortable kind of playmaking within this offense? Because, there was a little bit of a lull there assist-wise in December and January, but the last 3 has been 4 assists, 5 assists, 7 assists in the second half, especially you're the guy that they turn to kind of play make and dribble the ball a lot. So are you getting more comfortable doing that in this year?
I would say I was always comfortable. It was more so of me trying to make the home run play. I would try to throw it across the court one-handed when I had somebody right next to me wide open. So I'm just more so keeping it simple. The coach got me think about that a lot. Past couple games in practice, they tell me every day. So just more so being poised and taking care of the ball, because every possession matters. But
You guys have seen it. His decision making has gone to another level, and that's nobody can control that but him. His focus on what it takes to be a good player, and his focus on what it takes to win has gone to another level here in the last few weeks.